Hello, and welcome back, you merry folk. It's getting exciting here. We're in the present, the Christmas present. Are we not? Present.
I suppose.
There are toads, there's a strange Australian family. What's his name? Jason Statham popped by, Lorraine Kelly appeared briefly.
Fucking hell, it's I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, go back, watch the first episode. They're all there in spirit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, I'll give a little, set the scene, shall we not? So far, Christmas present has taken Scrooge to look around and they've looked at the Cratchit home. That's where we're at now.
So what Charles did is it?
No, that's what he wrote, John. Chicken breast.
It's taken 8 seasons for it to tell.
By this time, it was getting dark and snowing pretty heavily. There we go. It was a great surprise to Scrooge while listening to the moaning of the wind to hear a hearty laugh. It was a much greater surprise to Scrooge to recognize it as his own nephew's laugh and to find himself in a bright, dry, gleaming room. Scrooge's niece by marriage, Janet, laughed as heartily as he. And their assembled friends, being not a bit behindhand, roared out lustily.
One more game, Topper. The game is yes or no. What do you say?
Yes!
I'll start.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a live animal?
Yes.
A disagreeable
Most certainly.
Is it savage?
Mike Tyson in the
animal?
Can be.
Does it growl or grunt?
Often.
Does it talk?
Sometimes.
Would you find it in London?
Most definitely.
Does it walk down the street?
When it wants to.
Is it found in a show or led by someone?
Definitely not.
Does it live in a menagerie?
Oh no! Barry, are you sure you want this? Because at this point, we can quickly restart this.
It's not like he's committed to it. It's time to steal him
Not if it can avoid it.
Has it been killed in a market?
I hope not.
I got it.
What is it?
It isn't led by anyone, so it isn't a horse, ass, cow, or bull. It isn't so it's not a tiger or bear, and doesn't walk down the street, so it's not a dog or a cat.
I can see it 3 times. What is it?
It's your uncle's
Yes. Whether he likes it or not, I think he may have cracked the old boy I think I may have cracked the old boy yesterday, if I do say so myself. He has given us plenty of merriment tonight, I am sure, and it would be ungrateful not to drink to his health. Here's to Uncle Scrooge.
No, yeah, cheers.
Oh, yeah. Scrooge!
Scrooge would have pledged the unconscious company in return and thanked them in an inaudible speech if the ghost had given him time, but the whole scene passed off in the breath of the last word spoken by his nephew. I mean, the last word was Scrooge, but okay. And he and the spirit were once again upon their travels. It was a long night, if it were only a night. But Scrooge had his doubts of this, because the Christmas holidays appeared to be condensed into the space of time they passed together. It was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
Our spirit's lives so short.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight, at midnight. Hark! The time is drawing near.
Forgive me, Spirit, if I'm not justified in asking, but I see something strange and not belonging to yourself, protruding there from your skirt. Is it a foot or a claw?
Oh, is it? It's neither, my friend. It might be a claw.
Good luck.
It might be a claw for all the flesh that's. Oh, God. It might be a claw for all the flesh there is on it. Look here.
From the foldings of its robe, it brought two children, wretched object, frightful, hideous, miserable. They were a boy and a girl, yellow, meagre, ragged, scowling, wolfish, but prostrate too in their humility. Okay, yeah, fine. Where graceful youth should have filled their features out and touched them with its precious tints, a stale and shriveled hand like that of age had pinched and twisted them and pulled them into shreds.
Spirit, are they yours?
Nope. They're yours.
Surprise!
Do you not know them? This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware them both and all their kind. But most of all, beware this boy, for on his brow I see written the word doom, unless the writing be erased. I dare ye to deny it. I dare ye to slander those who claim otherwise, and see where it leads.
Have they no refuge or resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
The bell struck 12.
That last one was wink.
Yeah. He was tired by that. The bell struck 13. Scrooge looked about him for the ghost and saw it not. He remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley and lifted up his eyes, beheld a solemn phantom, draped and hooded, coming like a mist among down, towards him as the sound of wind and thunder echoed through the darkness. The frog slowly, the phantom slowly, gravely, silently. Approached through air it seemed to scatter with gloom and mystery. The tall and stately figure was shrouded in a deep black garment which concealed its head, its face, its form, and that nothing of its visible save one bony, outstretched hand. That is unsettling. Though it would not speak, Scrooge was filled with a solemn dread.
I take it I'm in presence of Christmas, the spirit of Christmas yet to come.
The phantom nodded.
You're about to show me shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in time before us. Is that not so, Spirit? Spirit, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. Will you not speak to me? Very well. Lead on then. The night is passing fast. And it is... I was going to say pissing. This is a lower low. The night is passing fast, and it is precious time to me. Lead on, Spirit.
They went into the obscure part of the town. The ways were foul and narrow, the shops and houses wretched, the people half naked, drunken, slipshod, ugly.
Sure.
But happy. Alleys and archways, like so many cesspools, disgorged their fences of smell and dirt and life upon the struggling streets, and the whole quarter reeked with crime, with filth and misery. The stench of crime, fast then of infamous resort, there was a low-browed, beetling shop below a penthouse roof, where iron, old rags, bottles, bones, and greasy offal were bought. Upon the floor within were piled up heaps of rusty keys. Nails, chains, hinges, files, scales, weights, and refuse iron of all kinds. Sitting in among the wares he dealt in by a charcoal stove made of old bricks was a grey-haired rascal, nearly 70 years of age, who had screened himself from the cold air without by a frowsy curtaining of miscellaneous tatters hung upon a line, and smoked his pipe in all the luxury of calm retirement.
Ah, Mr. Tackleton has been a busy man. Let's see. A seal, a pencil case, a pair of sleeve buttons. I'll give you £1.8 and not another sixpence, if it was to be boiled for not doing it. Who's next?
Mrs. Dilber presented old Joe with a bundle, some sheets and a bag of silver coins.
Ah, quite the stash, Mrs. Dilber. Of course, I always give too much to the ladies. It's a weakness of mine, and that's the way I ruin myself. £3 even, Mrs. Dilber. If you asked me for another penny and made it an open question, I'd repent of being so liberal and knock off half a crown. And what have you, Oliver?
Old Joe pulls out a fine silk shirt. He figures sums in his head, then opens a money bag filled with coins and counts them into his hand.
£4, 6 shillings, and 2p for his bed curtains and clothes, and not a penny more if I was to be boiled for it. He isn't likely to take a cold about it. I dare say he scared everyone away from him when he was alive, only to profit them when he was dead. And what's left? No one to care for him, or bury him proper.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. Surely there can be no reason to bring me to this god-forsaken part of the city, except for the case of this unhappy man might be my own. Yes, the items they have stolen are similar to mine. I see the point. But surely there is someone who feels some emotion caused by this man's death. I demand to be shown some tenderness connected with her death. Show that person to me, I beg you.
In his distress, Scrooge had smoked a full pack of cigarettes. The ghost conducted him through several streets familiar to his feet, and as they went along, Scrooge looked here and there to find himself, but nowhere was he to be seen. They entered poor Bob Cratchit's house, the dwelling he had visited before, and found the mother and the children seated on the fire. Quiet, very quiet. The noisy little Cratchits were still as statues in one corner, and sat looking up at Peter, who read from the Bible.
And he took a child, and he set him in the midst of them, and he said to them, whenever you welcome a child, you welcome me too.
Come on, Kylie, it's yours.
Oh, I find myself briefly overcome with emotion, endeavouring to recover quickly. This colour hurts my eyes. There, better now. The candlelight makes them weak, and I want to show weakness to your father when he comes home. Not for the world. It must be nearly his time.
Past it, rather. I think he's walked a little slower than he used to these last few evenings, Mother.
Yes, I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder, very fast indeed.
And so have I.
So have I.
And
so
so
have
have
I.
I. But he was very light to carry. What is that? And his father loved him so that it was no trouble at all. Is that your father now?
Cratchit enters, hugging his children.
I went by there today. Is why I'm late. I wish you could have been there. It would have done you good to see how green it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there every Sunday to visit him, you see.
Who covers from his whistles?
But guess who I saw today? Frod Holwell. Mr. Scrooge's nephew. Look at our Frod. He's a lovely man. I met him on the street. He saw that I was a little down, and, well, he is most pleased. He is there. And he is... Sure, go on. He saw that I was a little down, and, well, he is the most pleasant-speaking man you ever heard, and so I was not afraid to tell him. And this is what he said to me. I am heartily sorry, Mr. Cratchit, heartily sorry, and he pledged to be of any service he could to us. He gave me his card, and said I should call on him at home. But it's not for the sake of anything he might be able to do for us, so much as for his kind way, that I am thankful. It really seems as if he had known our Tiny Tim and felt with us. And I've got good news for you, Peter.
What is it, Dad?
Frod, Mr. Hollowell, told me that he'd been able to secure an apprenticeship for you. You'll begin at 8 shillings a week, starting next Tuesday.
8 shillings a week!
Soon you will be keeping company with a young lady, Peter, and saying about yourself. Aye.
Oh,
No, here.
That will happen soon enough. But however and wherever we're parted from one another, I'm sure none of us will ever forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we?
No,
Never, Barbara.
Dad.
Papa.
and I know, as well, my dears, that when we remember how patient and mild he was, although he was a little fuck.
He's a little fuck. He's a little fuck. Yeah, you little bastard.
Although he was a little fuck, we shall not crawl among ourselves and forget our little Timmy doing it.
No, we won't. Mother. Never. Mrs. Cratchit kissed a tear on her husband's cheek.
Kiss my face.
Not me. The two younger Cratchits kissed him, and Peter shook his hand in the memory of Tiny Tim. Graveyard scene.
Spirit, tell me something that the moment of our parting is at hand. I know it, but I don't know how. Tell me the man who was spoken of, the one who died. Tell me who he is.
There seemed no order in these latter visions, save that they were in the future, into the resorts of businessmen, but showed him not himself. Indeed, the spirit did not stay for anything, but went straight on, as to the end just now desired. Scrooge hastened to the window of his office, and looked in. It was an office still, but not his. The furniture was not the same, and the figure in the chair was not himself. Scrooge wondered why and whither he had gone, pointing the spirit's pointer finger to an iron gate. Somewhere. He entered the churchyard, overrun by grass and weeds. The growth of vegetation is death, not life. The spirit stood among the graves and pointed down to one.
Before I draw nearer to that stone to which you point, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they shadows of the things that may be only?
The spirit continues to point at the gravestone.
Answer my question. The course of a man's life, if preserved in, will determine certain ends. I accept it. But if he departs from those courses, the ends must change. Say it is so with what you show me.
Scrooge, his name, crept towards it, trembling as he went, and following the finger. Read upon the stone within the left grave his own name, Edwin D. And the spirit.
It can't be. Am I that man whom no one mourned? Say it isn't so, Spirit.
The spirit points to Scrooge and back to the stone. We are all the spirit of Christmas future.
Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been, but for your intervention. Why show me this, if I am past all hope?
The spirit's hand begins to shake.
Hallelujah.
I will honour Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will remember the lessons of the past, the present and the future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me that I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
In his agony, he caught the spectral hand. It sought to free itself, but he was strong in his entreaty intriate.
Sure.
He was strong, he was, and detained it. The spirit, stronger yet, repulsed him. Holding up his hands in a last prayer to have his fate reversed, he saw an alteration in the phantom's hood and dress. It shrunk, collapsed, and dwindled down into a bedpost. Yes, and the bedpost was his own. The bed was his own. The room was his own. But best and happiest of all, the time before him was his own to make amends in.
What? Where am I? Wait, what day is this? It's morning, but what day? How long have I been with the spirits? I don't know. But I'm alive. I'm alive.
I'm alive!
The curtains are still here. I am here.
Yippee!
I don't know what to do. I feel light as a feather. I'm happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy.
Running to the window, he opened it and put out his head. No fog nor mist, clear, bright, jovial, stirring, cold, piping for the blood to dance to. Golden sunlight, heavenly sky, sweet fresh air, and merry bells.
Hello, you boy. What day is it? Eh? I say again. What day is it? You clotted. Today? Why is Christmas Day? It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. My fine fellow.
Hello?
Do you know the poulterers in the next street but one at the corner?
I should know what I did.
An intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Something more. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up there?
What? The one as big as me?
Yes, the one as big as you.
Who's hanging that
Cockney screaming!
It is? Why then you must go and buy it. Yes, go and buy it now.
Oh, police!
No, I really do mean it. Go and buy it. Tell them to bring it here so that I may give them direction where to take it. Come back with the man and I'll give you a shilling. A shilling.
A shilling?
A shilling.
A shilling?
A shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
The boy was off like a shot. The hand in which Scrooge wrote in the dress was not a steady one, but write it he did somehow, and went downstairs to open the street door, ready for the coming of the poulterer's man.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He won't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
Not you.
Why is he?
He's still here.
Oh, Tiny Tim.
So you're right.
I know I'm prompting
What's
you.
he naughty?
Tiny Tim.
You know?
Tiny Tim will live. Oh, my soul. Tiny Tim will live. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world.
The poulterer's man arrived with a wonderful knock on the door. It was a turkey. I don't know why it was ever doubted. He never could have stood up upon his legs, that bird. He would have snapped him short off in a minute like sticks off seedling wax. He was also dead, this bird.
Why, it's impossible to carry that to Camden Town. You must have a cab. I've written the directions down, and here is the money for the turkey and the delivery. And a tip for you, sir. And here is half a crown for you, my boy. Well deserved. Yes, well deserved.
Oh, thank you, sir. You know.
And a Merry Christmas.
They parted from the doorstep as jovially as the relentless chuckling that now filled Scrooge. Relentless chuckling.
Okay. Relentless? Endless?
Yeah.
It does not.
Infinite chuckles.
He dressed himself all in his best, and at last got out into the streets. The people were by this time pouring forth, as he had seen them with the ghost of Christmas present, and walking with his hands behind him, Scrooge regarded everyone with a delighted smile. He had not...
Pause for that.
For effect.
I did the sound.
I think you'll have to play it post. I'm full of Christmas joy. He had not gone far when, coming on towards him, he beheld the portly gentleman who had walked into his counting house the day before.
All right, Fatty.
What, Chops?
How do you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was a very good thing for you. A very good thing. A Merry Christmas to you, sir.
How fucking dare you? I'm on the world dying, Mr. Scrooge. Fucking. Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that is my name. I fear it may not be pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your forgiveness. And will you have the goodness?
You can whisper. Don't.
Scrooge whispers indeed.
You can whisper.
Sweet nothings.
Go on.
Not
All right, Treacle.
Tea. Lord bless me. My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious? We're going to do an naughty.
If you please.
Stick a turn.
Stop this response, sorry.
Not a farthing less. A great many back payments are included in it. I assure you. Will you do me that favour?
My dear sir, I didn't know what to say to such generous.
Well, don't say anything, please. Come and see me sometime. What?
Come and see what?
Will you come and see me? Your charity.
I will. You best believe I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am much obliged to you. I thank you 50 times. Bless you, and a Merry Christmas.
Would you believe it if I told you that Scrooge went to church that day? He did.
No. Oh, he did.
Well, and walked about the streets. Yeah, no.
No,
And watched the
you-
people hurrying to and fro, and patted children on the head as they passed, and questioned beggars, and looked down into the kitchens of houses. There's something on their head. And up to the windows, and found that everything could yield him pleasure. Everything.
Everything.
He had never dreamed that any walk, that anything at all, could give him so much happiness. In the afternoon, he turned his steps toward his nephew's house.
Hello, Frod.
Oh, Scrooge!
Hey, I didn't gasp.
Just a glass.
Oh, yes, I did.
His name's Fred.
Uncle Scrooge!
The very same. It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I recall an invitation you made to me yesterday to come and dine with you. If that invitation is still in force, I should like to accept.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Well, you could say, bah humbug, a retort I heartily repent of, and shall never use again. Or you could say, come in.
Come in. Why, of course. You shall come in. Hurrah! Uncle Scrooge, you have made us both very happy. I may introduce my wife Janet, and I am Fred. This is my Uncle Scrooge.
Ooh.
Oh.
My dear,
Steady on, Scrooge.
back off, friend. My dear, it is plain to me now why my nephew chose you among women. You are indeed every bit as lovely as I've heard. All of the are.
We are very happy you are here.
Some clearly happier than others.
Fred, Fraud.
Fred.
Fred. I'm sorry for the things I said about Christmas. And sorry for the poor reception I gave you yesterday. And sorry for getting your name wrong, of which you were so undeserving. I see the image of my sister in your face. I loved her, you know, and she loved you.
Oh, I know, Uncle Scrooge. She loved you very much, and wished until her dying day that we should always be close.
And so we are, Fred. And so we shall be. Sorry. And so we are, Fred. And so we shall be. So we shall be.
The sound of change.
Scorpions need a word with you. Scrooge found himself at home in 5 minutes. He didn't stay long. Nothing could be happier. His niece looked just the same. So did Topper when he came.
Oh, Topper's back.
Why don't you say Merry Christmas, Topper?
Merry Christmas!
So did everyone when they came. Wonderful party, wonderful games, wonderful unanimity. Help me out, Troy. Wonderful it was.
Unanimous. Yeah. Wonderful happiness.
Unanimity.
Wonderful unanimity. Wonderful happiness. You know what bells for everyone? They're wonderful. Wonderful bells. Wonderful curly. Wonderfully, you could say. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Last page.
Nearly there. Scrooge was early at the office next morning. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late, that was the thing he had set his heart upon. And he did. The clock struck 9. A quarter past. No Bob. He was a full 18 minutes late and a half behind his time. Still half a minute now.
Oh, it's in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Time.
Who's Bob?
Cratchit.
Yeah, who's playing Bob?
Boy.
What to look at?
What is this?
Morning, sir.
Mr. Cratchit, you are late, sir.
Yeah, you fucking right.
You know, it's Australian mess.
What do you mean by coming here at this time of day?
I am very sorry, sir. I am behind time.
You don't sound terrified enough.
I'm so behind time.
Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please.
They go to Cratchit's desk.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday with my family.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I have a certain set of skills. I'm not going to stand for this any longer. And therefore...
From behind his back, he produces a leather bag full of coins.
And therefore, I'm going to double your salary!
Get it! Scrooge throws the bag on the desk and crunches Cratchit in a magnificent embrace.
Oh, I was in the hugs.
Oh, crunching.
I thought he ran the bag of coins around his head.
Embrace.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, that's all right. More magnificent.
And you've also got a caravan.
Why is this possible?
A Merry Christmas to you. A merrier Christmas than I've ever given for many a year. That doesn't make sense. A Merry Christmas that I've given for many a year. And from now on, I will endeavour to assist you, your family, in any way I can. And as for Tiny Tim...
No, you just won't leave me
He will
alone.
walk again. I know it. Now you needn't say a thing. Come with me. We'll discuss the particulars over a bowl of smoking biscuits with Tiny Tim.
No,
Before you so much as dot another I. Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father.
hell yeah!
He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good as man, as the good old city knew. And ever afterward, it was always said of Ebenezer Scrooge that he knew how to keep Christmas and keep it well. And if any man alive possessed the knowledge, may that be truly... What?
Last line.
May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tidy Sim observed, no idea.
God bless us, everyone. Cheers. Cheers. What were we doing with these? Were we meant to...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a musical outro?
No, there's something left. Now, in the spirit of goodwill and merriness, the rest of you will have presents in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah. No, I don't know which order we can go from that, but I think we'll minimize the chaos. Do you want twice a surprise?
Surprise,
Surprise!
I think I've got socks.
It's a very square feet.
Are we opening in any order? Or?
I guess Barry this way, left to right.
Scrooge first.
This is Scrooge. Alright.
I wonder what we did.
You're going to regret that. I didn't know it.
I was trying to channel my desperate male, but it didn't quite well.
More Mike Tyson.
Definitely more my toes.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Nice.
And actually, I've been obsessively watching YouTube.
I know. I pay attention.
You've been behind me.
He's a funny guy.
He is.
I've been watching Taskmaster. He's on, I think, the first or second season.
First season as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Hilarious.
Tim Key, for those at home.
That is a lovely gift. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Seems you like the real life Mr. Scrooge.
I'm a miserable bastard.
At the beginning of this recording, awful. By the end, re-ghosted.
That's my non-practice skill.
Very good. Blockbuster and chill. Fucking A. A two-player movie game for anyone who's ever seen the movie. I can confirm I've seen the movie.
So, you said you hadn't played Blockbuster often.
Yeah.
And it's because I imagine it's 3 players onwards. So I figured you and Natalie can play that one at home.
What a guy. Thank you, darling. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Cheers, mate.
There you go.
It's a proper DS
One, it's surprisingly fitting. Surprisingly apt for today, really.
Jesus. Is it Australian? But,
No, not Australian, the other. No.
oh, Scottish.
Wouldn't think.
Gavin Tate. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, I can see.
Frogs.
There you go.
So do that every time we turn a patch.
There you go. There you go.
So is frogs your thing?
Yeah.
It's now.
I've gone into her Instagram, I just see pictures of frogs all the time.
Oh, you're the lovely.
Oh, Satan, visible effect like that. 0 people.
I mean, it's going to look better if it's a shit present for you.
Oh. It was only a fish, don't worry. Very nice, James.
What is it?
It's Andy
Nice.
Oh,
from
amazing.
Taxi.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey played in the documentary.
Yeah.
Which
You've been into recently because you're reading James Burrows book about Taxi.
There's a big bit about him in James Burrows' book as well. Because James Burrows had to pretend to fire him from the set when he was in character as someone who denies ever being in real life.
Nice. He's a diva.
Okay.
But yeah, you've seen the...
Lost in the Funhouse.
Also, you find that interesting. I don't know what's in it, but I know that. You find that they can't...
Words and pictures.
Yeah.
I think there are picture segments.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very kind.
Yes. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that.
I know you've all... It's on camera now, but you've all supported me a lot through the year. I figured this was a good occasion to do so. You know, and Christmas Carol and all that.
If I was ever going to be nice, I'd do it on camera.
Thank you, Jay.
For the receipts. I guess, Merry Christmas and all that. Keep Christmas in your heart, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, because many people don't, then, just embrace kindness and good nature to your fellow beings.
Yeah, it doesn't naughty.
If you can. If not...
If you can, and it's consensual.
Yes. That's how we're going to end this.
I like the inanimate feel of it's consenting.
The washing machine.
Christmas is not as much about opening our presents as about opening our hearts.
There you go. So that's a solid off.
Cheers.
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 Are we throwing these on the floor after?
No.
I think we'll just keep drinking, maybe play some games. Do what you want, it's Christmas, isn't it? Bye.
Bye.
It's Christmas!
Thanks for watching.